Okay, now back to part 2 of the first video talking about women rights. Okay, so I stopped off with the story about the lady who we were having a nice conversation, and she was like, asked me if I would be offended if she say something, and she was like, and I told her, I say, no, I say, but then it depends on what you're gonna say. And she was like, what if I say Kamala? And I was looking at her like, okay, Ann, like, what's up, Ann? And she was like, think about it. She said she would be the first woman president. And I say, okay. She said, how do you feel about that? I say, well, first of all, I don't vote for a person, or I don't coincide with a person just because of their gender, for one, or their ethnicity, or their skin tone, or anything that's going to be a shallow decision that might come back to haunt me, or even hunt my grandkids, or hunt my children. I been there, done that. No. And I say, it didn't work back then, it's not gonna work for me now. So she was like, really? I say, yes. I say, I don't vote just because a female is running for something, or a woman is running for something. I say, I look at whether or not that person is going to really support women and their spaces. And I look at also if the woman is being instructed by a man on what to do. Does that mean the woman is for, that woman that's running for a position is for that woman? If that man is not like a supporter of women rights, and she's being instructed and taking orders from him to do certain things, you're not that candidate for me. You're not running for, to I'll say, promote women's rights. Because if you're concerned about this matter over here, but I've seen that you've actually supported taking a woman's voice away from her after all we've been through, down through the years, these decades, centuries, all kinds of stuff, you had a chance to stand up for us, considering you've been in a position for 4 years, and all we got is men who decide they want to dress, take over women's spaces, insult women, have renamed the woman to satisfy his own selfish self. And you've been a part of that. Men going in our little girls, I'll say male born males, okay? Going into our little girls' locker rooms, going into these women locker rooms, walking around with your bottoms hanging, saying, oh, I feel like a woman. I'm this, I'm that. That's not right. That's not right. I don't care how you look at it. It's time to kind of just, get rid of the haze. Get clarity on what's really going on around you. Because that's the only thing that's going to save a woman's right. Is her standing up for what's right. Don't put your head in the sand. You ain't no doggone ostrich. Don't do it. But speak up. Speak up for what's right. I'm gonna have to do a part 3. Of course, you know, the video has ran out. It's running out. It's going over 5 minutes. So I don't want it to go over 5 minutes. So I'll be back with the part 3. Okay? Peace out. Have a wonderful day. Love, love, love. Okay. I had started the, if this is part 3 of Let's Stand Up for Women's Rights. Okay? We are all we got. Okay, so it's time to speak up. Don't put your head in the sand like an ostrich. Don't get upset. I mean, you can do pretty much what you want to do if you get upset with the woman for speaking up, speaking the truth. But it is what it is. Let's speak these doggone truths, honey. So, I was telling the story about a male being confronted with a male born male coming out of the women's restrooms. Okay? And to be confronted with that type of energy, now he was coming out of the restroom. But just think about if one come in and you're kind of like countered in there with this type of vicious attitude. Tell me this. So this is the story. This happened back, I guess, in maybe 2021, 2022. Could have even been 2020. But what he did was, he was coming out of the women's restroom. I almost went into the men's restroom. And I caught myself. I was like, that said men's. But I was confused because this baby with a doggone beard and a ponytail was coming out of the women's restroom. Now they had like family restrooms and everything right there in the same vicinity, like right next door to each other. They were open, all this kind of stuff. But he chose to go into the women's stall. I guess this was to prove his point. So as I'm turning back around from about to go into the men's restroom, I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, I almost went in the men's restroom. As soon as I did that turn around, hadn't said anything to this person, he instantly looked at me and said, I'm a woman, bitch. I said, now first of all, this fool just called me a bitch out my name, okay? Hell, that's supposed to be the it thing to do, but I ain't nobody's dog, okay? No female dog for no dang body, okay? Let's put it that way. So when he did that, I was like, first of all, I didn't say anything to you. But you want to disrespect me because you done been made to think that it's okay for you to disrespect a woman? A real woman? A born female woman? I say, not today, buddy. And he went as far as to say, F you. F you, bitch. F you. I say, you probably could. You were born a male, okay? Doggone it. I said it. I'm not going to bite my tongue anymore. Because I didn't know that day because this man was so going out of his mind. You can call him whatever you want, but I'm going to call him what he was born as. I don't care anything about how you feel. That's a beautiful thing. If you feel like a woman on the inside, that's beautiful. That's whatever you want to do. You do whatever you want to do. But you will not come in my space and attack me because I was born something that you want to be. No, we ain't gonna have that. It was outrageous. It was ridiculous. And people stood back in that store and watched this man disrespect me. So I didn't know if I was gonna have to fight my way out of there or what. And it was not a good feeling. But I can tell you this much. If we sit and keep our mouths closed on something like this that has been a focus of a certain party's agenda, you're going to focus on putting a man in a woman's restroom. Something wrong with that. And people who go along with it, something's wrong. Something's wrong with your baby. It's too much that can go wrong. Think about it. Too much that can go wrong now. Look like my video, I don't know how long. I'll probably have to like put them together, whatever, eventually. But for this segment, I'm just gonna like put my little part 2s, part 3s. Honey, this will probably, it's a long story. Okay, so I will be back with, I think this was 3, with part 4. Okay, peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day. Okay, now we're back. Part 4 of the male who was coming out of the women's. It's the name of it is when we speak of women rights. Let those be a great concern. Women rights or women rights. Not man rights, not male-born males rights, but women rights. So as this guy is like insulting me, go back and watch 3 if you didn't catch, if you're coming straight to this one. There's a part 3. Look over to part 3. Look at all the little series that I'm doing right now. But this man, male born male, came out of the women's restroom in a rage. That could have went so wrong. I had to go out to the parking lot. I was just so shocked that had happened to me. Had never had anything like that to happen to me. And I didn't know if that dude was going to be waiting for me or what. I didn't know. I wasn't even at that point in time when it happened. It kind of threw me off like, oh my God. But I did speak with the manager and everything. And they were like, we're going to, trespass him from this if he comes back in here. He was gone by the time I got outside or whatever. But why should a woman have to fight in the spaces that were created for her? That's why when the lady was talking about Kamala, there's no way I would give my thumbs up to that foolishness, because when you had a chance to speak up for women, you didn't. Now keep this in mind, people. When we make these decisions off these ill emotions, these emotions that need to be healed, these broken children that are living within that adult body, it comes back to bite you. It does. And it might even bite the people around you, because you didn't take the time to heal those doggone messed up emotions. Women, sometimes you might stand by the door, let your little daughter go in. How do you know a man isn't in, a male born male, isn't in the restroom, the women's restroom? Think about it. If this dude was as irate as he was with me, and I hadn't even said anything to him, he might decide. Because they just let them go up in there if they say they feel like they're a woman. Come on, that's big disrespect. That's disrespect, baby. Whether you want to believe it or not. It's the truth. The truth be hurting sometimes. So you think about, you done let your child go up in there, and there's a male in there, and he attack your child, he attack yourself, look here. It's about safety of that woman. Don't play our safety like it's not important. It's very important. We exist because without us, life does not go on, honey. You best believe that. One isn't better than the other. Males, you're valid. Women, you're valid. So don't play us like our existence is not doggone valid, baby, because it is. Whether you want it to be or not. Because that male might decide he wants to be, shoot, a male once he gets, a male or a man once he get in that restroom or in that locker room or in that spa, he'll switch back real quick like. Why would you ever do that to our future daughters and, baby little girls who are coming up? It's time to stand up. I don't care. I don't care how you feel about it. What backlash, what attitudes. We need someone who's truly going to stand up for us. If they say, I'm standing up for you. If that's what if that's going to be your topic, your subject, stand up for me on all cognizance. Not just when you want to stand up or put on like you're standing up for me. So that's something, and I have another story that I will share. I'm going to put it in a video, and it is about my sister encountering some of the same stuff, but it was crazy. This one of the episodes was like years in advance when this happened to her. And it could have came out, it could have been life-threatening then. Very life-threatening. And she encountered to have someone, a straight out male, up in the restroom with her. So come on, ladies and men. There are some men who, look here, if you feel a certain way, that's fine. But I say, why we wouldn't go just because a human feels like it's an animal. Here with the way things are going, you just never know. But we wouldn't take the animal out of the animal kingdom just to appease the human, would we? Have we gotten that messed up? Have we? Come on now. Come on. That makes no sense. So it's a lot of things that, we need to talk about. And we need to make these sane decisions. We need to make these conscious decisions. Not based off of, what a person is. That person is this. That person is good looking. That person is well educated. You got some of the evilest mess that is well educated. That's why it can fool you so well. You ain't thought about that, right? Okay, come on now. Come on. But that's what I wanted to share. And I believe this is part 4. Don't look here. You'll be getting a part 5 fooling with me. But I'm going to talk about that as well. All the stories that go along with this different stuff. See, I experience stuff. And when I experience, I just hold it in. Or I write down what happened. But it's time to start sharing these stories with someone. There are people who want to hear this. For those who hadn't caught up and really hadn't connected to what I'm saying, that's okay. It's time for you to start connecting. But if you don't, that's okay as well. So I'll be uploading these videos to just kind of make you think. Sometimes you have to sit down and just think like, that made sense. And if certain things that are true doesn't make sense to you, might be time for you to kind of like just go purge. But we'll talk about it. We will talk. Okay. Peace out. Have a blessed day. Love you. Love you much. I do. I do. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yes, I love y'all. Look here. I don't care. If you equal my vibe, you equal my doggone tribe. It's not about all that other stuff. Love you much. Peace out, y'all. Well, hello, dear people. I'm back with I believe it's part 5. I wasn't gonna do my part 5 right away, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I think I will. Yeah. Okay, we were talking about the woman's space being violated, and she's being made to feel like she don't have rights when it comes to her spaces being violated by a male born male. See, you got to think about it. Subliminally, they're pushing us all the way back to where we didn't have the voices. Trying to do it on a sneaky tip. But nah, for those conscious people, we see what you're doing. We see you for what you are and what you're doing. We see it. And the fact that you got a male born male in these sports, these women got to compete against you because you don't want to go and compete against a male born male. We have an issue there. But this is what I would do. If I had to compete as women, this is what I would do. Of course, you're going to do what you want to do because that's your right. But I wouldn't compete. I'll let him be up in there competing with himself. He wouldn't sit up and, like disrespect me. Run all over me. Not unless you just want to prove you can beat a male born male that decides he wants to be a female, or better yet, no, a woman. Not unless that's just something it's kind of exciting to you or whatever. Do what you do, or do what you feel. But for me, you got to think about it. If you didn't compete, if we didn't coincide with a lot of this stuff that goes on in this world, there would be nothing these people could do. Think about it. Nothing. Because if they're so concerned with them being in female spaces, like restrooms and all this kind of stuff, why don't you go ahead and build them their own little nice restroom? Says trans women restroom. How about doing that? If the family bathrooms, the unisex bathrooms are not good enough for you, since you are really trying to push them in women's spaces like that, do so. And one of their key words is saying that, oh, they're being killed, they're being this and that. Wait a minute, y'all done completely forgot about women are being killed. Probably triple times more than they are. I won't even say are being unalived. We'll put it that way. At alarming rates as well. And some of the males who are doing it could be those who wish they could be doggone women. Because for this dude to have a rage he had in him, that was ridiculous, honey. That's the guy I'm talking about, the one that did approach and come into the women's restroom and all that kind of stuff. And he was coming out, I was going in, but he insulted me just because I looked around at the women's restroom. And I guess he had to feel kind of embarrassed himself, the reason he did go off on me like that. Because if a person hadn't said anything to you and just look over, you feel embarrassed your own silly self. Yes, I said it. But I think it's just really sad. But the thing about it, I've noticed that the female-born females, they're not trying to get up in men restrooms and get bills passed where they can get in males restrooms. But if you notice, the male born male is doing that. You gotta think about it. Always got something to prove. For the ones who are not doing that type of stuff and know they are males and they don't want to violate the woman's space, my hat is off to you. That's a beautiful thing, because I feel like people should live the way they want to live, as long as they are not infringing on other people's privacies and different stuff like that, or hurting anyone else. Do what you feel, but don't take the natural order of things and use all these little illusions to make people delusional. Just not even to prove your case, to make your case, to force your case. Women deserve their own spaces. And I don't care how, how some people look at it. The truth is the truth. The thing about, we'll get into it about some other stuff, but to me, I say protect your rights. It's okay to do so. It's okay to speak up for your rights. These times aren't that new. We're just doing a lot of this stuff, is a lot of the old stuff, old tactics, all kind of little old crap that's been played. But people don't realize it's even old, because the old is your new. But it's time to go and do your research and find out a lot of this stuff that's being played and try it on you is old. It's old as way back when. So that's all I want to share with you on that one. I wasn't going to go ahead and do it, but since I'm like in the mood and it's raining right now, why not? So I'm just telling you, wake up, smell the coffee, smell the oat flakes, whatever you need to smell, go and smell it. So it'll bring you back to women. Don't be treated this way. It's not okay. It's not okay to keep being treated any kind of way. It's not okay to be fooled, study being fooled on stuff. Because if you find yourself in situations like that, where you have to fight off a male in your space, that's not a good feeling. That's devastating. And I still have another story that I'm going to share. And I'll do that, I guess, maybe on a part 6. I got all these parts. On a part 6, or maybe I just put them all together. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, well, I will talk to you all later, and have a blessed day. Have a blessed life. Ask for enlightenment. Ask for, consciousness. If you're not conscious of things, start asking God, come on, God, give me what I need to be able to survive in this world. Alrighty, well, have a wonderful day. And if I'm making up words, hell, stuff is made up all the time. We've been seeing that down through the years, but we've really seen it in 2020 that stuff is made up. So we might as well just do what you do, right? Okay, peace out.